Hi guys, this is vlog number 3. Today I'd like to talk to you about perception versus reality. What's really happening and what are you making it mean? Um, One of my personal sort of challenges in life is to do with tiredness. Um, I think a lot of people around me may be aware of that sometimes I come across too busy, I'm not fully present. There's lots going on, and sometimes a lot of that tiredness I realize is just coming from my head. Um, there's a lot of people out there who have the same 24 hours, yet they get so much more done. And I've realized that a lot of stress in life comes from how you perceive things. A lot of joy, anxiety, pretty much all of your emotions arise from how you perceive something. So let's take an example to clarify that. Say you're at work and your boss or someone says something to you that makes you feel that you're not very good at your job. You'll get a sense of anxiety, a sense of stress. If you just dissect that, the only thing that happened was that your boss said something to you. He may have said, "Oh, Pramal, do you not know how to do this?" So the words that came out of his mouth were simply, "Pramal, don't you know how to do this?" That's it. In our head, we process that to make it mean something totally different. We start coming up with these thoughts, "Oh, I'm not good enough, I'm useless, I shouldn't have taken this job, I should be doing something else." Um, and then we start living our reality through our perception rather than what's really happening. Um, Perhaps that's quite a straightforward example. In terms of other more complicated things, we see people around us, particularly loved ones or people that are close to us, um, through these filters that we've created in our heads. So a person genuinely may be, full of love or have an authentic self that we can't actually experience because we're limited by these filters in our head. So what can you do about that? A good place to start is just taking some time out to reflect. As part of the self-expression and leadership program at Landmark, one of the exercises we have to do is interview people. And in that interview, we try and get a sense of, how we're perceived. For example, you may not even realize that the way you've been treating somebody is not the best way. They may think you're a complete idiot. In fact, one of the precursors when we do these interviews is to say to people there are no repercussions for what you say. And to me, that's about having the courage to be vulnerable, to be open, to say, you know what, maybe I don't always get it right. To have the humility to really care about how you relate to other people. So I think it's a very useful exercise, partly to do it in your head, but partly just to actually ask people, how do I come across? What could I improve? What are my strengths? What are my weaknesses? And you get an insight into how you're actually connecting to people and whether you're actually making a real difference. Just me doing this, for example, is being vulnerable. And my fears and anxieties get in the way of this as well, but this is me attempting to overcome them. Because there's people around me in this community as part of the self-expression leadership program, that are a stand for me breaking through so that my impact at large happens and doesn't just live inside my head as a good idea. As a takeaway, I'd like you guys to really think about who you're being in the world, and look at the different areas of your life. So you've got your work, your family, your friends, your community. Think about the kind of person you're being, and think about the kind of areas where there is a lack of relatedness, there's a lack of authenticity, and think about what's holding you back, what you're creating, and add to that, a request to people around you to just have an honest sort of 360-degree feedback conversation, saying, you know what, I'm working on myself and I want to be as real and as authentic as I can be in this relationship with you. give me some feedback. They may think you're weird. So what? Most people think I'm weird. But that sense of connectedness is incredible. And I seem to be connected with random people all the time, more and more. The more I keep practicing this, it just feels good to be alive when that happens.